Today on Peliculas with the Bros, we review the movie The Menu, and we have hot takes like, is The Menu the most slept on movie of 2022? And
Is The Menu the TikTok of movies?
what's up, bro?
What's up, bro?
And welcome everybody to the show. This is Peliculas with the Bros. My name is Adrian.
My name is Ivan.
And Peliculas with the Bros is a show where me and my brother Ivan discuss a movie every week. We discuss a new movie. Ivan, what is the movie of the week?
The Menu.
That is right, The Menu. But before we get into that, quickly, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We're on YouTube. We're on any podcast platform. Look us up, Peliculas with the Bros. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Anything you can to support the show, we would greatly appreciate it. Right, Ivan?
Yes.
Cool. Also, let us know what you think about the movie The Menu. If you like it, if you don't, if you agree with our opinion or not. Any random facts would be greatly appreciated. Leave it in the comment below. All right, Ivan, are you ready? Get your knives sharpened. Get your taste buds loosened. I think of more like this. Okay, spit it out. Because we're going to discuss a tasty, delectable movie called
The Menu.
The Menu. Written by Seth Reese and Will Tracy. Directed by Mark Mylod. The premise of this movie is a group of patrons pay a hefty price to eat at the world-renowned restaurant Hawthorne. The illustrious restaurant is located on an island, and the chef is recognized for his innovative and delicious plates. The patrons vary as they are from a variety of different parts of the culture. We have food critics, tech bros, actresses, actors, foodies. One thing is for certain, though, Ivan. They're all about to experience a one-of-a-kind, multi-course meal where dessert could equal death. With the cast of Ralph Fiennes. I just learned that's how you pronounce his name. But it's spelled Ralph Fiennes. Ralph
I think
Fiennes.
I said Ralph Fiennes.
Ralph Fiennes as Chef Slowick, Anya-Taylor Joy as Margot, Nicholas Hoult as Tyler. There's other cast members. We got Hong Chow, Janet McTeer, John Leguizamo, Reed Birney, of course Reed Birney, Arturo Castro, Rob Yang, Mark St. Cyr. But Ivan, Mark Mylod. I don't really know how to say it. This is his first film in over 10 years.
Nice.
Do you know who this guy is?
Nah.
Okay. I'm about to break it down for you. Are you ready? Yes, he's not in agreement. Mark Mylod. He has made 3 other films. Ali G in the House.
Oh, wow.
The Big White. And What's Your Number? Haven't seen any of them. Only know of Ali G in the House because of our boy.
Borat.
Great. Good job. But what he's known for is he's like a renowned TV director.
Mm-hmm.
Started on Entourage.
Okay.
Executive produced and directed episodes for Shameless, the show that everyone watches but me.
Wow.
Have you seen that?
I've seen like 7 seasons.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you like it?
Yeah, just heavy.
But it's supposed to be funny, right?
It's funny but heavy.
Okay.
But like it's good. You'll like it.
Okay. Once Upon a Time, executive produced, directed some. Have you heard of that?
Yes.
I used to watch that thinking, I was like, come on, I need to watch this because I think it's really good. And it's kind of unique, but it was pretty bad now that I think about it. Game of Thrones. He directed some episodes on that. And Ivan, this is it's like, what in Harry Potter do they get that unlocks everything?
Goblet of Fire.
What else? There's actually
Wand.
like everything in every movie that unlocks something, right?
Isn't it like a
Sorcerer's Stone. Yeah, it is.
skeleton key?
Correct. I think it's the skeleton key. That's like the term they use, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Succession. Yes. Breathe, Ivan. Breathe. He's basically the guy that directs the first episodes and the last episodes of every season. And he's like the executive producer, one of the executive producers. So he has Some kind of talent, obviously, right?
You could say that twice.
Some kind of talent, huh?
Twice.
And but like if you look at his filmography, other than this movie, you're like, okay, kind of like a nobody.
Right.
But for some reason, he excels in the TV industry.
I think he's like a sleeper hit. Like he's just working. He knows what he got. He's not looking for that $1 billion budget. He just knows no matter what the budget, no matter what's gonna happen, he's gonna nail it and do it well.
Yes. And there is like, what is it like in sports and like baseball, you have two types of pitch, or you have like a bunch of different kind of pitchers. You bring in a specific pitcher for a specific scenario.
Mm-hmm.
For like a big flashy movie, get Stevie Spielby or Zaddy.
Yeah.
If you need a wacky weird movie, I don't know, get someone else. For
Taiki Waititi.
yeah, Taiki Waititi. If you're gonna direct something for the TV comedy style, maybe get Mark Mylod. He is the director for the best show on TV right now. And it also makes me think like there has to be something. There's something to be said about this type of guy that excels greatly in that industry. Like it's even more so to your point of like he knows what he has. It's something else. Like he excels greatly in a medium that's just as important almost, right?
Mm-hmm.
Especially now, like we all watch TV more than we watch movies. So this guy, he has something. And also, is there a shift happening where these TV directors are going to be more well known than movie directors?
I see it. I feel like there's I'm constructing a theory that celebrities are slowly dying out. I feel like we're gonna like collectively realize, why do we put this person on a pedestal?
Mm-hmm.
I think part of that's COVID. Like, I think the fact that we were all doing the same thing at the same time, which is stay indoors, and nobody had like the privilege of going past that. So now you're like, well, if Brad Pitt had to stay inside, what makes him so special? Because he doesn't have all the power in the world.
So it's the accumulation of the slow realization that we're all just normal people.
Yeah.
And no one really matters.
And then now it's going to be like, well, let's just look at your work. I don't really care who you are.
Oh.
But still slow. Like,
technocratic.
Is that really?
It's like a merit based on
meritocracy.
Yeah. Like, how good are you?
Let's see.
Can you add 1 + 1? You're on this side. If you can't, you're on that side.
Yeah.
But I think there's like downsides to that too, right? Like I haven't looked at, I think it's psychology based, but there's downsides to that.
Probably.
Because there's downsides to everything.
I think.
We're real geniuses over here, Evan. We're like real psychologists over here. Yeah. How the sausage was made.
Yeah.
I mean, this section of our podcast was made for this movie, basically.
How the sausage was made.
We don't even have to change it.
Nah.
How does that feel, Evan?
It's wrong.
Okay. Will Tracy, the writer of this film, co-writer, he was inspired after having a fine dining experience to write this film. The other co-writer, I think it's Seth Reese. He is a writer in Succession. I think I have that question later, but I'm gonna tie the Succession theory I have. Don't make me forget it, or don't let me forget it, I should say. Anyways, they write this. Our boy Adam McKay, I think, is like executive producing this movie. Kind of makes sense. It's like in the Succession family, right? Alexander Payne is attached to direct this movie. Ray Fiennes to act. Emma Stone is in this to act in the beginning. Payne and Stone drop out. We get replacement of Mark Mylod and Anya-Taylor Joy. Obviously, have you seen Chef's Table on Netflix?
I know. I've heard of it.
There's a bunch of the food scenes in this movie are inspired by the scenes that or the way they depicted food in that movie. I mean, in that documentary series on Netflix.
Like with the text at the bottom saying like,
Yeah. So good.
Makes sense.
I love a movie like you get 0.5 up if you
Mhm.
have text on the screen.
Well,
Like that's why Quentin Tarantino always gets like easy points for me because he always puts like chapter 1. I'm like, oh, you got 0.5 right
Ding.
there.
Chapter 2. Ding.
You just need like 8 text
Yeah.
things and you get to 5 out of 5. And they hired a legit chef to design the food, and you can tell because the food looks beautiful in this movie.
Come on.
Did you want to eat it?
All of it.
Okay. I have a question later regarding the food. Your expectations for this movie?
I was excited because I saw the trailer and I knew it was up my alley.
Uh-huh.
And I was into it.
I was on the opposite side, and it was like I was highfalutin about it.
Jesus Christ.
Yes. I looked at it, I was like, this is too basic. Like I basically can watch the film in the trailer. I get
It was simple.
It looks so simple. I don't want to watch this. And then you're like, let's watch it. I'm like, all right. Then I looked at the reviews and I was like, it's pretty good. But yeah. And the trailer, for some reason, the trailer just didn't convince me to be like, I need to watch this movie. Whereas thinking back now, like I was in the food industry. I should watch it. Shout out to my peeps in the food industry.
They don't remember you.
Working hard. Shout out to all my peeps out there.
You have no power in that realm anymore.
Jose, te quiero, amigo. Ivan, what'd you think of the menu?
It was good.
Woo! That was a heater. For those of you who don't know, first-time watchers, last-time listeners, Ivan comes in hot, and he gives a 2-word review of the movie, and that was pretty hot. I haven't heard him go that hard in a while. I liked it. I liked it a lot. It was funny. It was fun. It was fun to watch with people. And it's a smart blend of the plot and the satire. Like, it's just smart.
Yep.
Satirical. I think we like satires. I think you're like a satire guy, right? Just furiously like nodding his head. The plot of this movie, kind of simple. Night at a fancy restaurant. The restaurant's on an island. There's a bunch of clientele. The clientele vary from different parts of the world. There's food critics, like I said on the top. There's rich people. Most of the people are rich, though, right?
Yeah.
Most of the people are rich, and it's very interesting in that way because the rich people end up being how they kind of dissect different parts of the culture. Like there's the food critics, the actors, corporate bros. I call them the tech bros.
Mm-hmm.
Just all these different people from different parts of the culture.
Oh yeah.
And you can sort of see yourself or see other people in that. And then there's the only non-rich people are the foodie and
the normie.
The foodie's girlfriend, who we think is his girlfriend, played by Anya-Taylor Joy. And then there's the chef, the master chef, the stereotypical master chef that we think about. That's like, this guy takes no nonsense. He sees his profession as an art, a beautiful art. He's demanding. He's critical. Kind of like a cult leader. And loyal staff, right? In your so, Ivan, I don't know if the people know, but you're what's like a fancy way of saying you're a waiter?
You could just say waiter.
You've been in the restaurant industry for quite a while. Have you ever had an encounter with a chef like this? Or maybe like a sniff of an encounter where the chef thinks he's like something.
Thinks or like, oh, this guy, he's something.
Anything. Any kind of chef experience that where you're like, interesting.
Not where like I could see them, where I would see them, not where I would be able to notice that they see themselves as an artist.
Did they even give a hint of like, I take my thing seriously?
Never. It's always like, I just like good food.
Right.
I like cooking.
And that's because of where you worked, right? It's not like you're working
Hey,
at a.
come on.
Oh, sorry. It's not like you're working at a Michelin star restaurant.
What? Come on.
Oh, sorry. Um, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But
But right.
imagine working. Would you ever want to work at a Michelin star restaurant where the chef is like this?
I don't think so because you would have to learn the menu, and that's like useless knowledge to me.
But then, on the flip side of that, it could be like your art is being a waiter.
Oh.
Would you like that? Like, I take my craft so seriously of being a waiter.
No, because I would rather just do it for fun.
Right.
Like the cheeseburger. Like I just want to have that cheeseburger.
Right.
I don't want anything more serious than that.
Yes. I think for me, I'm the type of guy that's like, give me like a month with any kind of thing. Remember that show on it was like on that dumb channel, whatever, and the guy's like, I do dirty jobs.
Dirty jobs.
Oh, it's called Dirty Jobs. Okay.
Come on.
Well, there it is. But I don't want to do dirty jobs. I just want to do like interesting jobs that I think are interesting.
Normal jobs with Adrian.
And I'm like, oh, what is it like to be an editor for a newspaper? What is it like
You
to
just crash like companies one by one.
You're like, no, we can't give you high ranking positions that you think are interesting.
You want to be CEO
yeah.
of this hospital.
Anyways, that's the kind of the basic plot. And then as we go further into the movie, the diners slowly realize meal by meal that they're dealing with the psychopath. Not only with the chef, but his staff. And each plate that the chef makes for his clientele tells a larger story, right? It's part of his overarching story that he's trying to tell of like, this course tells a whole story, but like every meal tells a story, right? And like I said earlier, who he's serving to is very important because each character the movie's kind of making fun of. And the artists is obviously like the first thing to make fun of, aka the chef, how seriously he takes things. But then there's the fanboy, played by Nicholas Hoult, who is like in love with our boy Slovik, the chef. And anything he does, he's just like watching. And he already knows him so well. He's like, oh, he's doing this. Oh, he's making us this plate, right? What do you think about this guy in our culture, the fanboy, who is like who knows every single piece of the art, but in this movie, how they choose to critique it is like he knows every single piece of the art, but he still can't do the art.
Yeah.
What do you think about that guy? And I think it's like the movie's hypercritical on it.
Yeah.
Like they're obviously exaggerating it to the 10th degree.
Right.
But does this guy serve a place in our world?
I think, yeah, that's the thing. I think like none of them do besides the girl who got the cheeseburger.
Right.
And that's like the point.
Right.
Like, sure, have your hobbies, be super interested, but kind of do something with it.
Yes.
Otherwise, what's the point? You're just knowledge banking it
Yeah.
for no reason.
Yeah.
And you could go through each one, like why they don't matter. But the girl who ordered the burger, who just did it because she loves burgers and it tastes good. And then.
Yeah, because to your point of like, they're all bad. Whether it's the actor who is kind of like past his prime and the food critic who makes up random words to describe what she's eating and correcting everyone and like, oh, he's doing that thing. Oh, what a silly thing he's doing, you know? They're all rich, they're all powerful, but they're all empty. And I think that's the main criticism, that if they're even trying to make like a real criticism, the main thing is like, these people are empty. Like, just don't be an empty person, right? One thing that I do love about the movie is like how the chef describes each plate and the backstory behind it. I find it like it's so basic, but it works so well. When he's talking about how like he gave the little explanation about how they sourced the food. It's like, this food comes from the ground and we eat it. What does he say when he's like, what I want you to do today is not to eat?
Yeah.
Right?
Like, don't eat, enjoy or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
And everyone's like, what the hell do you mean? And there's something to that. Like, I think about that when I go and eat at nice restaurants, the few occasions that I have. Not like I eat it all the time.
Oh my god.
Like, you do want to appreciate it, but at the same time, you just want to eat, bro. Like, I want to savage on this. I don't want to like. Well, I mean, there's times that I do want to do that, but it's such like a tug against. It's like a push and pull, right?
Yeah. I think you just gotta not go like, you have to like a middle ground. Like, you can't just be like, oh wow, and then take a minute. Like, okay, next bite. Like, do that once and be like, okay, time to just go hard for a bit. And then do that. Take a rest, have some fries or whatever.
Right.
Like, dabble in both sides.
Yeah.
But if you're just like, oh, I'm hungry.
But my issue is like, if you're gonna eat at a nice restaurant that you're supposed to enjoy the food, don't go hungry, or I should say, don't go starving. Because that's like that's your main flaw. Like, you go in starving and then you're not gonna appreciate it.
But I think that only that logic only works if you're worried about the cost of it. Because if the plates cost like $100, you're like, oh, I gotta enjoy this. Like, I can't just eat this. I have to take pictures of this at least.
Right.
And that kind of kills it too, because the whole time you're like, was that bite worth $50?
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
Yeah. So you're saying you have to be rich enough too?
I think food might be a little overpriced, or I mean, not overpriced, but like,
it can be art.
If it's that expensive, then you don't actually need it. Because I think like a good burger is enough. But
okay, gotcha.
Explain.
It's almost like a catch-22 or something like it just can't work. Because like you're saying, essentially, food is meant to be eaten, enjoyed, sure, but enjoyed because you're eating it, right? And you're to satisfy your need for hunger.
I would say like taste is relatively new to humans.
Yes, it is.
Because like 2,000 years, probably, what they had before just cumin or something.
Right.
Like, ooh, here's a root. It tastes slightly better than poo-poo now.
Like the Great Salt Wars. The wars that were fought over for salt to make food taste better.
Yeah. I think there's just a huge flaw in the food industry, whereas like it shouldn't cost this much. And if you have enough money for that, then you really should probably not buy it.
Yeah.
Because it's not something that is really good for you.
Yeah.
So it's just a flaw.
But like, the people that make this nice food, this expensive food, they might say like, well, the reason why it's so expensive is because we have staff that are trained to make this food. Yeah. And we get it from a specific source that costs a lot to get it.
And I think the flaw there is that it shouldn't exist, that restaurant. It should exist where the source is.
Farm to table.
Yeah. And that would be the most ideal. But people don't want to. Well, people can't travel because that's like another cost.
But then you can't have like farm to table in a city. Like, then technically there should be restaurants in a city. I
think like transportation within reason, not like this is from Japan. Okay. This is why it's expensive.
Right. Okay. I get that.
And then have somewhat local transportation, not global. And if you want to try Japanese sushi, like, well, you got to start saving up for the Japan trip for a month and then just make a month out of it as really experiencing the culture.
A month? You're going to have to save like 2 years for a Japan trip.
No, I mean, save up for 2 years to have a month.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Another thing that's interesting is like how absurd the scenario is
Mm-hmm.
that the chef is essentially gonna kill everyone,
Mm-hmm.
and course by course they're slowly realizing it, but they're also kind of like going with it, and that's because they kind of think it's a joke,
Yeah.
but it's a perfect scenario for everyone to believe that it's kind of fake. Like, since it's kind of performance art, the way he's cooking, they're like, "Oh, is this real or is this fake?" And it creates a great plot device for everyone to stay in this restaurant.
It's a lot like the rehearsal.
Yes.
'Cause
Which
by the end, you're like, well, it technically was real. I mean, it technically was fake because it was all performance.
uh-huh.
Like even like the deaths were part of the performance, so it's technically not real because it's all part of it.
Everything's real though.
Yeah, and then it is technically all real because they're actually doing it.
People are actually eating and are actually getting killed.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it was performance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any experience for you eating at a nice restaurant? Like any notable experience? Like I had this at this nice restaurant, and it was
fantabulous.
yeah.
In experience in what way? Just like notable?
And, yeah.
Nah.
I got one. See if it's percolates in your brain.
Percolates?
The one I described. I was in Valle de Guadalupe. It was I think it was our birthdays, me and my wife's, and we went to this fancy 13-course, 12-course meal. And meal by meal, the waiter would come out and describe the food to us the same way like
Yeah.
they describe the food in this movie. But they also added like fluff to it. They're like, when you eat this, you can taste the grass of where the cow was grown and its spirit, you know? And I was like, trying not to laugh, but it is that like, come on, man.
For me, like the best food experiences are ones where it wasn't even that expensive or I didn't expect it.
Yeah, come on.
Like one was the two in my mind that I will remember till I die. Till I die. In Tijuana, there was like a shrimp taco shop where it's like a
On the street?
It was like in the store,
Okay.
in the restaurant, but like open restaurant, doesn't matter. Taco, and then they put like a globule of cheese. A globule.
Is that a real word?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
And then like spicy shrimp.
Uh-huh.
Close it up, and it's like a packed thing.
Damn.
And that's like, that was like top tier. Like,
Have you ever recreated that? Or
I
tried
went
to?
like 2 or 3 times. Like not by choice. It's like we're going here.
But have you tried to recreate it at home?
No.
Why
there's
not?
I don't have the capabilities.
Come on. If it's just a globule of cheese.
Globule. It was the sauce that was on the shrimp.
Gotcha.
I have no idea how they made that.
Gotcha.
That, and then the other one was in Vegas, the hot chicken in the Cosmopolitan. Hattie B's or something.
Oh, wow.
That one where I was like, is this life? Is this God?
Dang, I have a place to recommend to you then.
In America? I mean,
Yeah.
San Diego?
Yeah, San Diego. Now that you're mentioning that, I think I have, well, one definitely in Tijuana. Me and I think it was you were there too. Dad would take us to like this restaurant in downtown Tijuana, and it was like a Mexican restaurant, obviously, and it was for like breakfast. Usually, we got there like at 11 a.m. and it was the first time I had enchiladas suizas, and they were just so simple. It's like 3 small enchiladas with green sauce on the top, and the green sauce was just like, come on, bro.
Was it like a restaurant?
Yeah, it was a restaurant.
I remember going to like a restaurant, and I would get like this like big empanada.
Yeah.
Is it that one?
That's what you got. Yeah, but it's because in Mexico, quesadillas are like empanadas, and you always wanted quesadillas because you're a little cheese boy.
Cheesy boy.
Hence your globule of cheese.
Globules.
But yeah, that was the spot.
That was a good spot.
Another time was when Dad gave me for the first time aguachile, and I was like, wow, I never knew spice could taste so good. There's other times too, but yeah, I'm getting hungry now. Oh yeah.
Belly.
And in this movie, there's like 7 or so courses. There's the seaweed.
Mm-hmm.
There's the oyster in the very beginning where he's like, mouthful. There's the rocky terrain with like the scallop.
That was funny.
There is the breadless plate.
Funny.
There's the tacos
Yes.
with
those
the
look good.
photos on the tortillas. There's the scissor and the thigh.
Yeah.
And then there's the s'more and the cheeseburger.
Okay.
Favorite one?
Just like from a movie standpoint.
Movie, and which one would you eat?
The s'more. I would eat.
You would over the cheeseburger?
No, I think it has to be cheeseburger. But like that's kind of the point of the movie. Like if you didn't choose that, you didn't learn anything.
I like the breadless one just because of like what it caused.
Oh yeah.
Like the tech bro saying, "Come on, give us some bread, bro. You know who we are."
Yeah.
And just I hate those tech bros.
Yeah.
Glad they died. But yours is cheeseburger, taste, and like your favorite part?
Favorite part? Maybe I don't know. It's tough because I like them all for different reasons.
Yeah.
I just like this backstory with the thigh.
Yeah.
And he's explaining why.
Yeah.
I was like, oh dang, this is crazy.
Yeah. Self-mutilation.
Yeah.
I like that. In the movie, the chef says the most offensive pairing ever created is the s'more in dining. Do you agree with that? Is there a more offensive pairing? Because I have one in my head. I have two now, actually.
Go.
Mom would eat rice with ketchup, and I was like, that's kind of crazy, but she made me do it, and I was like, oh, it's kind of good. And anyone who I told that just looked at me like I was insane.
There's something about ketchup where like every culture uses it differently.
Pizza, Mexicans with pizza.
Yeah, and we're always like, what the heck?
Yeah.
I think just ketchup is inherently like the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
So anything outside of like fries, it's like, oh, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But even fries, like you should probably not do that technically.
Technically no, but it's delicious.
Yeah.
It's just a delicious condiment because it's
sweet.
It's sweet, but it's tangy.
Tangy.
Tangy beats all.
Yeah.
Also, I did this, and it was probably my most offensive pairing. Yogurt with bread.
I never got that.
I used to get yogurt in a bowl and just like how you take off caca from your butt, just swipe the yogurt with the bread and ate it.
You didn't swipe it. You went like, and it was on there jiggling. Yeah. It wasn't like a light spread. It was like alive still.
Yeah, it was like
a globule.
3/4 yogurt, 1/4 bread.
Yeah.
It was insane. I need help. Our girl Anya-Taylor Joy is in this film. This is, I think, the most covered actress of this year for us. She was in 3 films that we talked about: Northman, Amsterdam, and now The Menu. Amsterdam. She's
oh yeah.
Your boy, Grand Cracker of a Man's Wife.
Yeah.
She's going places.
Could be just, I feel like trend. Like it's.
Is it a trend if she's in Furiosa?
Long-term trend.
That's what we call it.
She's good, but I don't know how long like she'll have the public's eye. I hope she has a long career, but I just don't trust. Like everything just is a trend these days. It's not like people are lasting.
I agree with that. My only caveat is that it's not a trend because she's skilled. Like I think Ryan Reynolds and The Rock are more trendy than Anya-Taylor Joy because she's sought after by directors,
right?
Rather than like the audience doesn't really. She's not like she doesn't bring people to the audiences, to the movies, I should say.
Yeah.
But yeah. But yeah, she's Margot in this film.
Mm-hmm.
She's the girlfriend who slowly gets revealed as actually she's just an escort.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the slow reveal layer to this movie really adds something because it's like a level of mystery throughout the film that we're just like, who is this girl? Makes the film a little bit better. She knows the businessman, the old businessman in this movie, which is disgusting because I guess she looks in the movie. She looks like the businessman's daughter,
Mm-hmm.
and the businessman hires her as an escort and has sex with her.
His life.
Creepy. But the interesting part of this movie, another interesting part, is that the chef sees something in Margot. He's like, "You're not like the other people. You're like us, right?" And why do you think this is? What does he see in her that she's not like empty? That she's not rich? What is it? Something like that?
I think the people who would buy this experience always act a certain way. And this person was like invited as the second choice.
Yes.
So I think that's when he's like, hold on, you act like a person, not like these
Empty people.
Yeah. And it was obvious because how much he deals with the other people.
Yep.
And that's all he sees.
Yep. There's a pivotal scene in this movie where everyone's basically realizing they're gonna die. Even Anya-Taylor Joy's character, Margot, she's like, I'm gonna die here, and she's crying, and she's like, she has this epiphany of a way to get out of this mess, and it's essentially ordering a cheeseburger. What is this cheeseburger unlocking for the chef to be like, you get to survive this horror show?
Joy.
His joy?
Yes.
Yes. So Margot's basically saying, make me this burger, because she says everything you served has been shit. Like, I haven't liked anything, and I'm starving. She's like, I'm hungry. And he's like, how hungry are you? Starving. Isn't that great?
Yeah.
Like, that's it reminds me of like other movies that I don't know what has done that. Just like one word, enunciate the hell out of it.
I don't know.
But you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Starving. He's like, fine, I'll make you a burger. Make it the best burger. What does she say?
Like I want a greasy, disgusting burger, not any fancy, deconstructed burger or anything.
Right.
I'll make you the same burger your dad gave you when you were 5.
And she's like, I bet you can't. It's like, I bet you I can. Type of attitude, right?
Yeah.
Like, they're just like testing each other. It's so good. And he makes the burger, and it looks so good the way he makes it, right? What does he put on it? Does he put onions? Like grilled onions?
I don't remember. American cheese was the key.
American cheese, baby. Serves it to her. She takes like 2 bites, and she literally eats it on camera, right? She swallows it, and she's like, can I have it to go?
He's like, what?
And he's like, sure. Takes it to go, and she's allowed to leave.
Solve the riddle.
Solve the riddle. I think in that moment, the whole movie, the chef's like, I see something in you. You're not like the other people. You're like us. He realizes, one, that she knows what he's about. How he came from nothing. How he came from making burgers, because there's a scene where they show that he made burgers as a kid or whatever. And at the same time, she brought back it's almost like in Ratatouille when they served the critic like the home style. Yeah, he's like, I remember when I was a kid.
Yeah,
that was delicious.
I mean, this is pretty similar to that. I know it's obviously similar because of the food.
Yeah,
but just the vibe of having your food mean something to somebody.
Yep.
Instead of making just like whatever.
Yep. Love it. Ivan, I have a review from the New York Times for you, Jeanette Katsolis.
Right.
She says, whisking splashes of horror into culinary comedy. The menu is black, broad, and sometimes clumsy, attacking its issues more often with a cleaver than a paring knife. Yet everyone is having such a good time, it's impossible not to join them. The movie's eye might be on hot cuisine, but its heart is pure fish and chips. They liked it.
Better.
Ivan, what do you rate this movie? Out of 5
Boygas.
Boygas. Jersey Boyga sliders.
I give it the illustrious.
No, don't you do
Adrian.
Ivan, think about what you're doing right now. Think about all the films you've ever watched. Yes, they're all flashing in your eyes. Zaddy, Fableman's, he's going through your eyes. Black Adam.
5 out of 5. Joyzy Boygas from Coal Mines.
Coal Mines?
Yeah.
Wow. I really set you up for that. 4.25 out of 5.
Get outta here.
Boygas. Jersey Boyga sliders.
Get out of here.
Ivan, this is the second film you've ever given a 5 out of 5. Tell the people why.
Don't mind if I do, Adrian.
Give him that old sloppy spiel that you give him.
Well, I'll tell you what. Sorry.
White person.
Tell you why I gave it the rating.
Okay.
First off, it's my bread and butter. Kind of
Same.
funny, like ironic, huh? Considering
Yeah.
more like just
Stop.
more like my butter because they don't give us bread.
Ivan. Okay.
It's acutely attuned to my funny bone. It was fun the whole time. It was simple. Like, it's not overly Tenet where you're like explaining everything. Not that that's horrible, but it's like you could just
That's not what you're here for.
yeah, like you could show this to anyone and they'll love it, which is what I love. Like, those are my favorite movies where you don't need any knowledge
Yeah.
at all.
So, Marvel superhero movies not your thing anymore? Because you need knowledge for that.
For MCU, maybe.
Okay, that's a bad take. Go ahead.
That was it.
Okay.
It was just good.
I agree with you so much on like the simplicity of this movie. And the reason I didn't want to watch it is the reason I love it so much. It's just a simple movie in one. There's like 2 settings, right? There's the outside of the island and then there's inside of the restaurant.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Kiss, baby. And we need more movies like this. Just like we don't need big extravagant movies. We don't need we would love these kind of movies too, but what about those movies that can just be super simple and hit the target?
I think it's like a underrated market, or what's the word?
Underutilized?
Sure, but because I think everyone thinks they have to be very complex and have super layered meanings. And this has layers, but it's even at surface level, it was just a fun movie. And
Yeah.
if you want more, you could dig in more.
Yeah.
And it's not even like you're digging hard. It's like right there.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
it's like, it's just fun. Like you
Right.
don't.
Like it's not Nope.
Yeah, you don't need did that shadow mean what I think it meant?
Right.
Like in this movie, it's like, they just said what it kind of meant.
Right.
Not like that explicitly, but
They kind of did. Like it wears the satire on its.
But I think it's also like satire on being under complex, like saying everything. Like it's a little obvious that the critics, like they're all kind of exaggerations of themselves.
Yes.
But what was I saying?
Underutilized market.
Just more movies like this where you don't really need a million things of knowledge. You just go in, have fun. Like Nicole Kidman says, like
When you're here, your family.
yeah.
Also, there's like, we talked about Succession, right? I think definitely not a trend, but it has the same vibe of Succession where it's like, this is a ridiculous situation, but you can kind of see it being true. Probably not as much as Succession, and just like the satire nature of it, like it's a great kind of like, if you like Succession, watch this movie.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see maybe if Succession increases the satire market of what we have today.
I think there is a trend of like destroying capitalism because like this is that, Succession is that. I think in a weird way, the rehearsal is that. Just because it's kind of going against like what is real and what's not, and capitalism is a lot about materialism, and owning things, and
okay, gotcha.
And Nathan, for you, or slash the rehearsal is kind of about just understanding like what's actually real, like what matters,
right?
In a way.
Cool. Well, that's our review for The Menu. Let us know what you think about The Menu in the comments below. Our next movie is going to be either Pinocchio by Guillermo del Toro. He did create one of your, or a movie you liked recently. So I don't know if that.
Which one?
The one with Bradley Cooper.
Oh, Nightmare Alley.
Nightmare Alley. So Pinocchio or The Whale.
The Whale.
Really?
We're watching that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You vote for that?
Yeah.
Okay. The Whale it is. We'll be back with The Whale next week. Now we're going to go into some quick fire things about the week that was. December something through something. Ivan, it's time for a section called
Things and Such.
He's drinking water. Ivan, our boy is I don't know what's wrong with our boy Kanye.
It's kind of funny, don't you think?
Now it's not.
Oh.
At first I was like, there's points, badly delivered points, and now it's like he's doing he's like going all in a weird way that I just do not.
It just, for me, it's incredibly insane that he's doing this and nobody can really do anything about it. Because he can, like, they can cancel him. They could kick him off Twitter, do all that. But he still exists. He's still going to have these thoughts. Like, he's still going to be Kanye. He might just, like, okay, they stopped me from doing anything. Let me just release an album of these thoughts. And then they're going to accept that.
Will they? Like, won't they just take it off? Like, if there's a song, if there's music promoting anti-Semitism or loving Hitler, won't they remove it from Spotify?
Maybe. Could be. But it just, like, pretty much everyone is pretty much killed him. Like,
socially?
Yeah. There's another word. Metaphorically, I guess. Like, he's pretty much dead metaphorically. But he can still do whatever he wants. And he's not stopping.
I just wonder, like, I wonder if it is like a sanity thing, and I wonder if he is, because he's always been like a provocateur, but now he's just like super provocative, where before he was like more subtle and more nuanced, and now it's just like blatant and not very nuanced, and then I feel like he's being used by the people surrounding him. Like, he's being followed by, like, that anti... Like, he's been described as, like, a... What's it? White supremacist?
Milo.
That guy, too. And I wonder if, like, does he realize he might be just being used?
I think he's just incapable of understanding who's on his side at this point. Like, I mean... who's with him in a healthy way.
Okay, that kind of makes sense. And then there's also, I saw some things where he gave an interview and he was like, no one's ever going to let anyone do this. I said a couple things and I got out of all my contracts and now I'm free.
That's insane.
And the idea is like, he did this on purpose. right? To get out of Adidas. That way he can make his own stuff.
Uh-huh.
And it's kind of like destroying everything. That way you can just rebuild.
Right.
Um, I don't know if I agree with that, but it is kind of like an interesting test if that is real.
It's definitely something that's like it's never been done. Not that it's exactly a good thing, but there's no like precedence for what he's doing at all.
Yeah.
You kind of see in history, like, oh, this Donald Trump type, he was there's like an 1850s clone, and we kind of saw what happened.
Uh-huh.
But with Kanye, it's like in tech, social media, this is a whole different beast.
Mm-hmm.
So just like there's a clear flaw if all these people are canceling him and he's effectively dead, but he's still able to do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Like, shouldn't the solution, if canceling him was the solution, shouldn't he have stopped? Or like been like, oh, I see the error of my ways.
Maybe he's not fully out of all the contracts. He's like, I need to get out of
There's
two more contracts.
I gotta go harder.
There's also a thing he said where he's like, I'm running for presidency because that way, like the FBI can look into my my money, because if they look into it, they'll see that my money's being held, which is illegal.
This guy's insane, but like, I can't tell.
Insanely good.
Yeah, like,
I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not, but like,
right.
I just don't like. There's a line where I don't know if he's really anti-Semitic or he's doing it because of this.
Well, I think he has, like you mentioned this before when he was talking with what's his face, the
Yeah.
podcast guy.
Yeah.
He said like a few people who are Jewish mess
Yes.
with him.
Yep.
But he's saying all of them so he gets the attention.
Mm.
And I think I'm just scared to label him as like, oh, he kind of knows what he's doing. But like with these little tidbits you're giving me, it's like there's a fleck of a plan I'm seeing
Yeah.
that I can't exactly say, oh, he's an idiot.
Right.
There's something, even if it's done horribly, but there's just something else
Yeah.
where I can't just say, well, he's completely insane. He should be locked up right now.
Yeah. And like, even if he destroys everything and he wants to rebuild, would he like scorch the earth too much? That way he can't even like build enough context. Because like, who can trust him after this?
Right.
Like, he basically has to do everything himself because he has to use his money, and it's crazy. It's crazy. Let's move on from our boy. Maybe one day he'll right his wrongs. Indiana Jones.
I don't know.
It's funny because like they released a new trailer, and I'm like, okay, I guess we're making another Indiana Jones, and he's like 90 years old, and he's still doing backflips and stuff.
Oh my god.
But I think the thing about Indiana Jones is just, I guess it's like the same thing with like Star Wars, is just, it's just too good of a premise to let go.
Mm.
But the bad part is that we can't let go of Indy. Like, Harrison Ford is just too good and like too attached to it.
Yeah.
I think they try to hand the ropes to Shai, but it was the wrong person to give the ropes to, obviously.
Yeah.
But you really need a character that just like is as charismatic as Harrison, and then that way you can start anew.
I think you have to retire it once like an actor makes a character so iconic just for themselves. It's like Iron Man and Tony Stark, Robert.
But what about James Bond? Like, Indiana Jones could be James Bond.
But that had like precedence of always cycling. Like maybe the second James Bond, that was like, oh, you can't do that. That first guy was our guy.
Right.
So you're saying like,
yeah,
how about we just break the cycle? Right
like
now?
He's just been it too long. Like, let's just get a new Indiana Jones and like do different adventures. What's your name? Jones. Indiana Jones.
I guess, but still, I'd rather them just. I don't know.
And the actress is Phoebe from Fleabag.
Oh yeah.
she's like, she's a very she's a writer and good actress. So I don't know. Maybe they try to hand her the reins, but it feels like a little Ghostbusters ish to me. So
I don't know.
hoping for the best.
It just felt so silly watching him jump around.
Yeah.
When in like the third one, no, is it fourth, third, the
Fourth.
crystal.
I think it was fourth. Fourth.
Even then, he was like, "Oh, this he's 1 foot out the door,"
Yeah.
sort of deal. And then he's still doing another one, and he's just jumping better than I could jump. It's like, geez, it just feels weird.
I have good and bad news for you, Ivan. Maybe I don't know. You're a Wonder Woman guy.
Canceled.
Are you a Wonder Woman guy?
Oh, I heard it was canceled.
Are you a Wonder Woman guy?
No.
Okay. Seems like they're not gonna make third. There it is.
No more empowering women.
Another good news for me, at least. I think that was really bad. You said take it back.
No.
They're gonna watch this.
They'll know I'm joking because
Okay.
they're intellectuals.
Oh, Black Adam.
Oh yeah.
They're like, yeah. Supposedly it's gonna lose like 100 million or something. Because
did you see the Rock's tweet?
no.
He
About
said
what?
he said I wanted to confirm with the investors or something like that before I relayed the news, but Black Adam did actually make a $50 million profit. And this was like after that. So I'm like, do I believe this guy?
Don't, man. He's just a business guy. He's like a typical business guy.
But why
acting
would he
like
just lie like that?
he lies about being clean. Why wouldn't he lie about that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But in the tweet, he also said Captain Marvel made $370 million in total. This one made $400 million. We're building a franchise. And
He's such a salesman. I don't like it, man.
I have to look at the numbers.
But what he's not saying is how much did it cost to market Captain Marvel? Captain Marvel or Shazam?
Captain Marvel.
Oh, okay. It did cost a lot. Why is he comparing it to Captain Marvel?
Superhero in the same area. Like they made the similar amount of money. I think that's where his.
So it cost 100 million to market this movie, Black Adam.
Okay.
And I'm like, what movie cost? I mean, obviously there's movies that you want to market a lot, but 100 million for Black Adam? That means they kind of knew that it wasn't going to be that good. Like you need to market enough.
I think all marketing, like Marvel movies, are like 100 million around. I think they're like, oh, Marvel's doing 100 million.
But Shazam isn't. Shazam probably is a better gross profit, and they didn't market it as much. I'm just saying, Black Adam is probably gonna barely make enough money to consider it a success, and now that puts the sequel and the Superman connection kind of in a fog, which I'm glad because like my end thesis now, which is kind of long-winded, is like I guess they're just rebooting everything. And even with Aquaman, I heard that he might be recast and he might be Lobos.
Yes.
Which is a much better casting, right?
Yeah.
But it's just interesting. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't care. Do what you want.
Okay. I like that. I like that energy. Ivan, it's time for a section called What's on the Telly?
Burp. Me? I'm beginning Mr. Robot once again.
Ooh.
And an epiphany. And an epiphany of epiphanies, as I always do.
All right.
I realize I like rewatching things that I've already seen, i.e. Mad Men. But I like whenever I rewatch something or like have a choice to rewatch, I'm like, oh, Mad Men, it's there.
Yeah.
And then I realize there's like a ton of shows I actually really liked.
Right.
That I haven't given enough love, like Mad Men.
Yes.
So I was like, let me do that now.
What about Andor?
I've never watched Andor. How can I rewatch it?
I was just saying, like, how about some time for Andor, please?
Maybe after Mr. Robot.
It's just 8 episodes or 10. Okay, keep going, sorry.
So I'm starting Mr. Robot.
Nice.
It's good.
I have
one
that
episode.
I have that same feeling of like you always go for the easiest thing and the thing like you're comfortable with. But yeah, you're right. There's a bunch of other stuff that you'll like, not as much maybe, but still you like it a lot.
And I've said this theory before, but like I don't know if it's even a theory, but if like there's only so many 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10
Yep.
pieces of media,
Mm-hmm.
why not just focus on those and ignore everything else?
Yep.
So I'm
Correct.
kind of applying that logic to this. Like, why don't I just rewatch this over and over again and learn everything I can from it? Because I learned like half of my life from Mad Men. Like,
I know how to talk to women through Mad Men.
I know how to advertise.
Shut up, tits.
I'm walking here. But just apply that. I'm applying that to Mr. Robot and
Yep.
other shows I've watched. Like I want to rewatch Wire now, Sopranos.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
There's worse things to do with your life, Ivan. There's worse things. I am watching the World Cup. It's gonna get hot and heavy. We're now in the round of 8. All my teams have been eliminated. USA's out. Mexico's out. Germany's out. My one like sleeper team, who like if all my teams were out, is still in, which is England, and they might get out tomorrow because they're playing probably the best team. And my takeaways for the World Cup so far are
Unethical.
definitely unethical. Definitely unethical. It's just fun. It's just
What
too
a
fun to like.
Weird thing to pair that with.
Yeah.
Definitely unethical.
And there's
It's
like
just
so
fun.
many storylines of like countries, and like when you see like it's interesting because in football, people dream of playing for their country more than they dream for playing for like a team.
Yeah.
Like basketball players, they dream of playing for the Lakers,
Mm-hmm.
for example. They don't dream of playing for USA as much. But in soccer, like you dream for playing for Brazil,
Mm-hmm.
not for playing for Real Madrid.
Yeah.
I mean both, but more so.
Yeah.
And you can see that when they play and when they win, like they're crying when they lose or win. Just that energy is so cool.
Yeah.
I love it. I've been rewatching some Christmas movies, trying to finish Santa Claus. Santa Claus is so good, man.
The Santa Claus?
The Santa Claus, yeah. Home Alone, it's going to be on the docket. I'm going to watch, what's that one? Christmas Story? Yeah, Christmas Story. It's going to come up. Probably my greatest Christmas movie of all time. You, Elf? You going to watch Elf or something?
I don't care about Christmas movies like that.
Got you. People be like that. Ivan, are you ready for a section called Really Be Bussin'? I got here. Ivan, do you have a 1 month, 2 week, whatever it's been, recap of Her Loss?
You want like a retrospective?
Yeah, like how's it going? How's it hitting you?
It's pretty gone.
I think that's like the best way to review things, by the way.
1 month, 1 week.
Maybe it's not, but yeah, it's a good thing to do.
Yeah.
It's gone?
Yeah. I can't really remember a song. I remember Honestly Nevermind more.
It sounded like I honestly remember. Never mind more.
I
Yeah.
remember Honestly Nevermind more.
Yes, I kind of agree with you. I mean, like, but you don't really listen to music much, so
Not particularly.
I think it's like a good album. There is something I just realized, and I think the Metro Boomin new album kind of made me realize it too, is that a lot of hip hop, like the tone is dark, like it sounds dark. The beats are very dark, especially Metro Boomin's albums. Like his beats usually go towards menacing versus like, what's like an opposite, like
Lil Yachty.
yeah,
Go like Minnesota.
man, it's like something light, you know,
Yeah.
something playful.
Yeah.
And I don't really, I find music that's uplifting. Like even Kanye's like last album, like there's songs on that are uplifting, and I gravitate towards that more than like dark sounding music.
Okay.
That being said, Her Loss has a lot of dark sounding music. I do like the album. I just feel like I wonder. It's been said a million times. Drake, he's just stuck in his zone, and that's why it's kind of forgettable because it's just the same thing. Did you listen to Metro Boomin's new album?
Yes.
What'd you think?
It was good.
It's good, right?
Yeah.
Don Toliver.
I don't like him.
Oh, interesting.
I don't like him because I thought he was really good. And then he released an album. I was like, this is what you're going to present to me?
Right.
You trash bag?
He has like a great voice, but he says the same thing that everyone else says.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
Like I was tricked by that beautiful coo of his.
Yeah. Cue to me, Don Toliver. Cue to me. Metro! Travis.
Scott.
He was in this, right?
Yeah.
I like this Travis, you know?
He was pretty good in it.
Just like, give me those melodies. That's what you're good for, right? And 21, like...
Can you do some for me? I'm
trying to think of something else to say, but I can't. 21 is just like... He's like bread and butter, honestly.
Yeah, just bread. No, just butter.
It's just butter. With Metro's bread, he's just the butter, and it just works too well. Like,
yep. I thought it was kind of... He was losing it with Her Loss.
Uh-huh.
Like, uh-oh. And then this, I was like, oh, it was just Her Loss.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was Her Loss.
It's... I mean, he wasn't bad in Her Loss. It's just nothing to write home about.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just don't like dark sounding albums like that. Like, it's so brooding, you know? I like more... Like, we need more Chance the Rapper without Chance the Rapper, if that makes any sense.
Chance the Rapper, not Chance the Crapper.
There it is. There it is. Perfectly said. Like, there is a missing hole in hip-hop of fun music.
That's what I've been saying.
And that's kind of why, like, I think I gravitate towards, like, Young Thug and...
Yachty?
Not Yachty.
Cardi?
Oh, my God.
Bloody?
Playboy Cardi and our boy...
Shy Glizzy?
Oh, my God.
Pop
I
Smoke?
just want to party. What is it?
Uzi?
Yeah, Uzi. So bad. Because they're playful with it, you know?
Yeah.
But when they go dark, I don't like it.
Yeah.
So there's something there. Do something there, someone.
Well, maybe that says something about these rappers who are unable to be playful. They're just sad people.
Yeah.
They're sad, pathetic individuals because they are materialistic.
It does, like, you have a point there. I think I'll flesh it out a little bit better. Where
Jeez. Sorry, I'm stupid.
I'll add some meat to your bones.
Thank ya.
The reason why everything is so dark is because these guys are kind of dark and kind of like bland.
They're depressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they need some kick in the butt to wake them up and to see the brighter side of life. Not everything's like dun 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 dun. A little bit more life.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
ASAP Rocky.
Rocky.
I like how you didn't know what to say, so you just said Rocky. He released a new song. The song doesn't matter because it's actually for a video game. But he is kind of... It's sad because, like, I know there's nothing there. But he has it. But when he raps, he's just going to do the same thing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
He has something.
Right.
I think even Travis Scott can do it where it's like, maybe with this new album, he realizes he needs to uplift, you know? And not be so monotonous.
I don't know. I think if he thought that, well, I was gonna say if he thought that he wouldn't have done the Moodiness on Metro's album, but I'm sure they're just friends, so it's like I'll do it.
Throwaways.
I guess.
Like I used everything from Utopia's for free now, and now I'm remaking Utopia.
Utopia 2. That'd be cool. Like, just release that Utopia 2.
Oh yeah.
No Utopia.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen.
No. It's like when Jid, is that his name?
Yeah.
Released DiCaprio 2, and I was like, "Where's DiCaprio 1?" I don't think there's the DiCaprio 1, right?
Just 2.
Makes me go looking. Can't find it. Having any other music? What's up with you? No music, only rewatching Mr. Robot. You're like a hermit.
Not in the past week, but I've been because I haven't had a car. But podcast.
Oh.
But specific ones. I'm not an idiot. All right.
I feel judged.
Conan O'Brien's podcast.
Oh my god. What the
Listen.
hell? Okay.
The man is an expert conversationalist
This is true.
because he had that as a job for 40 years.
Okay.
So the transition was like seamless. So he's just very good at talking to these people who he invites.
Okay.
And they're all like people I'm interested in, like celebrities, artists.
You're into celebrities?
You know what I mean?
Okay.
You poopy.
What's the best one or some takeaways?
The best ones are ones where I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't really know this guy, but I like Conan. And like, I don't really want to scroll all the way down to find like someone I like. So I'm like, well, I'll just watch this. And I watched. I was like, this is the best one I've ever heard. It was just like an actor who was on SNL, like in the past. So they like riff off each other super well.
Oh, okay.
And then from that, I was like, oh, maybe I'm into podcasts now. Maybe I like podcasts.
Oh yeah.
So I listened to the Arrested Development guy, Jason Bateman, Will Arnett.
Oh yeah.
They have a podcast. I was like, well, this is going to be good. I like them. They are not as good as Conan. Like,
That's crazy, huh?
conversational- Yeah.
You just feel it?
Yeah.
Damn.
Like the way Conan is able to like make the whole vibe fun, no matter what. Like if the other guy can't talk at all, he's good. Like it's night and day.
That's crazy.
And then these guys, they're friends, but they don't know how to like make it like super enjoyable all the time.
Yeah.
Like they're kind of a little bit spiteful with their jokes. Not that that's horrible. Like Conan does it like very rarely.
Yeah.
But Conan knows how to like
Transition.
form the conversation like fun, a little jab here, fun. Where the Will Arnett podcast was like jab.
To each other?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny, but like at the point you're like, it's a little too mean for me.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at.
There's a podcast I used to listen to where like it just I felt too toxic. I was like, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
And then the Joe Rogan podcast, I only listened to like once in a blue moon because when the other person can't talk, he just talks about the same thing. Like he likes talking about hunting, bears, and weed, and I'm like, okay, I'm out. It's the same thing over and over.
There's Conan.
Mark Maron is pretty good.
Is he?
If you like that kind of thing, because he knows how to pull things out of people, and he's more like a psychiatrist. Like he's like, why are you the way you are?
Why are you an idiot?
Yeah, he's like, and he's kind of like confrontational at times. Like he doesn't just take the easy way out.
Mm-hmm.
He'll ask, not the toughest questions, but interesting questions that the regular person might not ask.
Side thing, but Conan did one with the 30 Rock guy.
Which one? What did he do?
Tracy Morgan.
Yes.
That like you should watch that or listen to that. It's so weird. Like Tracy Morgan as like a comedian.
Oh.
He seems like psychotic. Like you don't know if he's
as a comedian or as a normal person.
I don't know.
Oh, so you couldn't differentiate.
Like I was like trying to figure him out the whole time,
Uh-huh.
and I think he's like putting it on, but there's moments from like this guy. This is like a mental illness. It has to be, but then like he pulls out like just genius thoughts out of nowhere too.
Uh-huh.
And Conan, like the master that he is able to like
Blend in.
yeah, and let Tracy do his thing, because Tracy just takes over the thing. But you should watch it. It's really weird.
Are they all like 30 minutes?
They're like an hour.
Okay. I'll take a gander because I've never given Team Coco a try, but I'm willing to try if you think it's good.
Tracy Morgan. I mean, any of them are good, but Tracy Morgan one, I was like, what the hell is this? And then Conan's just really good at keeping it going.
Yeah. All right. I'll take a gander. Anything else?
Into games.
Like?
I've been changing my philosophy because I like games. I dare say I love games.
Oh, God.
But for like the past years, for the past decades, I've like not enjoyed it at all.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to like train myself to like play it and not think like, oh, this isn't as fun as I want it to be.
Right.
Because that thought makes it not fun. But if I'm just like in the moment with the game, that's when it's fun.
Is there also like I'm wasting time?
A little bit. It's more like I'm wasting time playing a bad game. I could be playing a way better game. But there's no
better game because
Yeah.
you don't like anything.
Yeah. In my head, I'm like right now I'm playing Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Oh.
But I have like God of War 3 on the line, Death Stranding, like a couple other games, and I'm like
That's Stranding?
the Kojima.
Didn't you already play that?
Yeah, but I like it.
Okay. Oh.
But I'm playing that Final Fantasy, and sometimes like, oh, God of War 3.
Right.
That would be a lot more fun than this.
Right.
But I know if I play that, I'm gonna be like, well, Final Fantasy 7. That could be a lot more fun than this.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to train myself.
Oh.
To
Just
not-
complete it.
Yeah, and then just I'm gonna just beat the game, have fun, and just enjoy it.
Uh-huh.
Because I like games, and like a low key pipe dream of mine is to be like some game director. Like that's one of the many aspects that I would want to be. Not that I have to be that, but if I did that, I would be very happy.
Mm-hmm.
And to do that, you got to play games.
Yep.
And if I have this attitude where all games suck, I can't do it.
That's why you quit your music director aspirations because you don't like music.
I was gonna be a music director.
It's a joke.
Oh, like a producer?
Yeah, it was a joke.
I'll still do it,
Okay.
but for good music only.
Oh. So, Final Fantasy 7.
It's very cheesy. Like the dialogue is actually kind of bad.
Yeah.
But gameplay is pretty phenomenal.
Is it like, what's the best part of the game? Like, is the gameplay like addicting where like you want to level up?
I think once you hit a flow, that's like
That's all games. Like you
yes.
need, there's a flow that you hit, but what triggers the flow?
When you see like you're fighting a boss and then you could see like, oh, I could hit him with this fire spell that's weak and then they'll be staggered, and then I could hit him with one of these and then my partner can hit them here and they'll stagger him longer, and then like having that like those things and then executing it, that's when it's like, this is what games are like.
Yeah, I was in love.
But then like I'm back and like, oh, I just got hit and it ruins me, like the flow.
Yeah.
But that's also fun in a way.
Yeah.
But it's tough to like, it's training myself and it's hard.
Getting in the flow state.
Yeah.
A weird kind of flow state where like I need to stop thinking and just go with the game. And then whatever I find in the game, it might bring me joy in some weird way.
Yeah.
I get that. I think that's like one of my main issues with everything in life Because it's like
Jeez.
starting and stopping things.
Yeah.
Like if you start something and you don't continue, you won't find the flow state because you're like, I'm doing it because it sounds exciting, but there's like in the beginning it's so hard to sludge through a new hobby because like you're learning, right?
Yeah.
But once you're in it and you're actually running, you're like, oh, this is so much fun.
I think just finding the flow, because like most games I play in the past were like, let me power through this so I can experience the game.
Yes.
Like I know what happens, I know the gameplay, but that's not how you play games. You're supposed to
Live through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take your time. And I know it's just games, but I'm trying to do like transfer of skill with this.
Yeah.
If I learn how to just enjoy this, I can enjoy other things more easily. And I like writing, so I want to dissect how bad this is and understand why it's bad.
Yep.
In my own way.
Yep.
So there's that.
That's dope. I was thinking about firing up the PlayStation 3 and playing Skyrim. But I was like, I could be doing other things. I shouldn't be doing this. So I didn't fire it up. But I might one day.
One day.
I mean, it's right there. It's looking at us.
I say we just fire that puppy up right
Let's
now.
fire that bad boy.
Play some Mario Kart. How about that?
I mean, I can mod that bad boy right
Let's
now.
do it.
Okay. Evan, this was
Yeah.
great. I'll be back next week. Whoever's watching right now, thank you. You made it this far. We'll be back next week. Peace out.
Bye.